you are, and we need to get focused here. So the good news is that I'm going to do number one on the quiz, and it is done very similarly, not quite as hard, but very similarly to the first question. So what I'm going to do is go through that question now, and hopefully tomorrow or Monday, I will begin to show you the technique where you use the least common denominator to wipe out denominators. Okay, now let's go through this step by step. Make sure we're on the same page. Spencer, kill lights, please. Same size situation or opposite side?
Opposite.
Opposite side. Opposite side, everybody?
Opposite side.
Minus 3/4 x. And we can just do that on the calculator. Let's see, 3/4 would be 6/8, so this is going to be x over 8, or 1/8 x. Minus 2/3 is 4. Add 2/3 to both sides. And I'm going to come up here. X over 8 equals 4 2/3, which is 14 over 3. Now, at this point in time, there's a couple of ways you can handle it. The things you have prior learned don't just disappear. You could cross multiply. Do you remember that from last year?
Yep.
Right? You could do 3x equals 112, or you could just multiply both sides by 8. And I get x equals 80, 112 over 3. Yes?
How do you get x over 8?
Take your calculator. Type parenthesis. 7 divided by 8 parenthesis. Minus. Parenthesis. 3 divided by 4 parenthesis. Enter. It'll say 0.125. Math, enter, enter. Got it? All right, any other questions? Okay, yes.
What if we convert it so that it's like numbered?
Oh, yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
That'll be fine. And just to clarify the record, you could express this for argument's sake as a decimal. Oh, God.
It will be 37.
Is it 37.3 repeating?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you wrote this, I'm going to give you credit. It's not like you're wrong. The problem is, way too often, I have seen kids do the following. This is a big mistake kids make. Because kids unilaterally decide to round off. They do it all the time. So my advice is, don't do it. Leave it like this. I assure you that when you get to higher levels of mathematics, be it Algebra 2 trig, be it college math, etc., that's the way the answer's written. They're not done as mixed numbers, they're not done as decimals. Nobody writes them as a decimal when you get to the higher levels, unless it specifically says to write it as a decimal. Okay, now, number 2, find the product. There were a number of kids who made me quite proud in extra help this morning. They came in to learn how to do this question better, and they definitely improved. So, that's what we're looking for. Improvement. Sydney, Lena, are you solving world peace?
I'm asking her to do the question because I don't understand how to do one.
All right, but not now. We're past that now. All right? And what happens is what you're doing is going to distract people around you. Okay? Now, this is a triple distribute to a triple. It just means a bigger box, a bigger sum of areas, if you will. 2x squared times x squared is 2x to the 4th. Negative 5x times x squared is negative 5x cubed. 3 times x squared is positive 3x squared. At extra help today, a couple of kids they set the whole problem up. They did so much right work, but they didn't put signs in. And when they didn't put the signs in, they wound up getting one part out of the multiple parts at the bottom wrong, or one term wrong. We don't want that. Always put the sign. 2x squared times 5x is going to be 10x cubed positive. Next up, negative 5x times positive 5x is negative 25x squared. Positive 3 times 5x is plus 15x. 2x squared times negative 7 is minus 14x squared. Negative 5x times negative 7 is plus 35x. 3 times negative 7 is minus 21. Now we're going to add on the diagonals. 2x to the 4th Negative 5 and positive 10 makes positive 5x cubed. 3, negative 22, negative 36.
Isn't that a 25?
Is it? Yeah, but when I do 3 and negative 25, I get negative 22.
Oh, okay.
And then a negative 14 is negative 36, x squared. 15x and 35x is 50x, and then minus 21. Okay? So the procedure never changes. I could do a 3 by 3, a 4 by 3, a 7 by 7. It's all the same. Fill in the boxes, go on the diagonals. Okay? Any questions? Now, we've been doing this long enough, you know you'll see one of these on your homework every day for the next 5 days. And I would suspect you're getting better at it now, and within the next couple of days, a question like this is very comfortable. Okay, so earlier in the year, we talked about the fact that anything to the 0 power is 1, except 0 to the 0. That makes no sense. But any other number to the 0 power is 1. And I said to you, for now, just know that, which you should know, because I also teach Math 8, and we've gone over this in Math 8, and they know. If I say, anything to the 0 power is, and they'll all say 1. So you should all know that anything to the 0 power is 1. But the question is, why is anything to the 0 power 1? And this is your full and complete explanation, which I think I mentioned the other day, but went through pretty quickly. Let's say that I have 7 to the 5th over 7 to the 5th. Okay? Now, I don't think they're going to ask you on the Regents exam to prove that x to the 0 is 1. I don't think they're going to do that. But I still think it's important to know why, because I don't like a math course that looks like gimmicks, that looks like stupid things for teachers to tell you to memorize. I like math that makes sense. Let's look at this from 2 different perspectives. The first perspective I want you to look at it from is the perspective of, in a fraction, what is anything divided by itself always equal? 1, right? What's 5 divided by 5? 10 divided by 10? 10 squared divided by 10 squared? 1. So 7 to the 5th divided by 7 to the 5th is 1, because anything divided by itself is 1. If you want to figure out what 7 to the 5th is, and then you want to figure out this 7 to the 5th, and you want to divide them, you're going to get 1. Now, if I apply the rule for exponents, the rule is, we learned this the other day, subtract exponents. So 5 minus 5 is 0. So therefore, 7 to the 0 is 1. And likewise, I could do that for any number, except 0. Can't do it for 0. So 2 to the 0 is 1. 7 to the 0 is 1. 27 to the 0 is 1. Any number or variable to the 0 power always works out to be 1. Okay? Any questions? All right. Now, n cubed over n to the 5th. What does it equal? So what I want you to realize, or the perspective I want you to look at this from at first, is the perspective of subtracting exponents. So if I have n to the 3rd over n to the 5th, what is that going to equal? N to the what? Negative 2. Now this should strike you as odd. Negative exponents?
Actually, I'm a little bit familiar with negative exponents because of like all the homework you've been getting that had to do with questions like negative exponents. But anyway, when you have a negative exponent, you turn the coefficient into a fraction with the exponent, but it turns into a positive, and so therefore the coefficient and the positive exponent would be the denominator for a fraction.
That is a perfect explanation. And I don't want to sound like a wise guy, but I can put all of that into one word.
Really?
Yeah, reciprocal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. Now, some things are best learned in the military. Okay? You have a military guy come in the room, you ever see him in like a boot camp training? When they look at it and the drill instructor's like, you maggot! Right? You ever see that kind of stuff? Now, I'm not going to call you a maggot, but I am going to say to you, negative exponent! And you're all going to say, reciprocal, sir! Negative exponent!
7.
How lame! Haven't you waited your whole life to scream in class? I'm giving you permission to scream in class.
Oh, I would say stop!
Negative exponent!
Reciprocal!
We're almost there. Now we just got it all together. Negative exponent!
Reciprocal!
Sir! Very
Wait,
good.
what are we?
Okay. So now, look.
7.
If I write n cubed, 8. If I write n cubed, that's n cubed. If I write n to the 5th, That's n to the fifth. Die, 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 die. So, n to the negative 2 is 1 over, look at, in the numerator we have 1, right? Because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, over n squared. And that's what Anthony was saying to you guys. He said that when he sees a negative exponent, he makes it into a fraction, and then he uses the positive exponent, which is pretty much what you said. So anything to the negative 2 is 1 over n to the positive 2. Now, that is how you interpret it. You interpret it as a reciprocal, and you put it there. Now, let's show you 2 ways to do this. I have 5 with a negative 2. A negative exponent?
Reciprocal!
1 over 5 to the positive 2. You know, one year, one of the classes I did this so loud that it made Tony come up from the first floor and stick his head in the classroom and goes, everything okay in here? All right, so 1 over 5 squared. What is 5 squared, everybody?
25.
So the answer is 1 over 25.
I was about to say 10.
Okay, now, that one was a very simple one that I could do off the top of my head, and other than for careless mistakes, because it's early in the morning, you too could do it off the top of your head. But this one's kind of ugly. 7 to the negative 3. But we have a calculator. Everybody get your calculator. Everybody hit 7.
7.
Everybody hit the caret button, the up arrow button. It's on the right side. Now, everybody type in negative 3. Now, hit enter. It gives you this ugly looking decimal. What do you do when you get an ugly looking decimal?
Math
Enter. Go ahead, what do you get?
1 over 343.
Done.
Yay.
Done.
That's it.
Okay. Now,
Yay.
excuse me.
Can we do that for everyone?
Oh, I was doing
Yes.
21.
But now, listen, hold it. Dessing is such a typical boy. He wants to find the laziest, quickest, least effort way to do anything. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he sees 7 to the negative 3 and he goes, so cool. I don't have to think. 7, no problem. I honestly think you could do 5 to the negative 2 quicker in your head. Right? Because you realize it's 1 over and 5 squared is 25. So I do think it's quicker and easier to do some of them in your head. Like, for example, if I had 10 to the negative 2, it's 1 over 1. But when I get a 7 to the negative 3, yes,
Couldn't you just do 7 times 7 times 7 and put a 1 over it?
under it. Yeah, over it, yes. Yeah, you could. But again, on a calculator, I think that this is a little quicker. Okay, so now, I would like you to do this one without me helping you.
That one's the hardest one. Can we do
Yes, exactly. Do it.
Oh, okay. Like a walking ribbon or something? That was good.
Hello. Okay. Bye. Carissa, early release. But you may want to just watch this one.
Boy, what?
Okay. Ready? Now, I should have said very early release. Okay. Guys, everybody quiet. Look, the 4 is the input. So this means 3 times 4 to the 0 plus 4 to the negative 2. Anything to the 0 power is?
1.
3 times 1 is 3. Negative exponent. 1 over 4 to the 2. What's 4 to the 2? 16. So it's 3 and 1/16.
I got a different answer.
Well, I did that, but I kept it in the thing, like, one fraction, and I got
49 over
16.
16? That works too.
Whoa.
Okay, hasta la vista. Vaya con Dios. Toodaloo. Bye-bye. Arrivederci. Smile a lot. Ciao. Arrivederci. Adios, amigos y amigas. Cheerio. Galushus. Kadafis. Sayonara. Hasta lasagna. What's up?
Because I think I found out too wrong. I think when I did the 5 plus x over 4, when I combined it, I want to do soccer 5x plus x minus x over 4, and I would give my answer and then multiply the denominators to get top and bottom.
Okay. All right, run with it. You're gonna get one tomorrow.